So once again, guys, welcome to another free coaching lesson brought to you by me, Vibe. And we have a Zerg vs Zerg on our hands on Prion Terraces, the map with the fucking gold in your natural. It's a bit awkward. And on this game as well, I'm going to do both perspectives of both players. And once again, since this is going to be a VOD, I'll explain. If you guys haven't seen these before, what I do is I have two of my subscribers play, both equal skill, today as masters. And I look at I look at the Zerg's perspective, and now we have two Zergs, so I'm going to look at both perspectives. I'm going to tell you what, in my opinion, they're doing right and wrong, and what I would do in their position if I was in their position. So right now we have Stratix versus the Caffey. We already have one player making a pretty decisive move, going 13-12. 13 gas, 12 spawning pool, and he's going to be very fucking aggressive. And we have another player going for hatchery first. Also, by the way, these guys can't hear me, just to clarify that. These guys can't really hear me. They mute the stream when they play. And they actually play a real game. But back to the point. The Caffey, the 13-12 Zerg, what I would do if I were him is I would, as soon as I would be making Zerglings, and I would be preparing to make Banelings behind it. And as soon as I scout my opponent went hatchery first, my goal is to kill his hatchery, and commit to killing the hatchery, and once I kill it, expand myself and try to retain map control. Because if I can retain map control, and then I can eventually transfer my drones to my gold, I have a massive lead. Now on the other side of things, if I'm Stratix, and I'm the one who went hatchery first, as soon as I see Zerglings coming across the map with this Overlord, I'm going to immediately stop mining gas with 2 of my 3 drones, only 2 of them. So I'll leave 1 of my gas, I'll immediately, like right now he sees it, take 2 off gas, in my opinion, is the perfect response. You make a Baneling Nest, you make a Spine Crawler, and you make double Queen first, and then you make fucking Zerglings. So he's making a Baneling Nest, he's leaving 3 on gas though, this is a bit much. He really needs to make a Spine Crawler, which is why you need to take, you don't need to mine so much gas because you need to spine. And you also need to make non-stop lings, because this isn't all in right now, and investing into Zergling speed is not worth it at this point. It'll never finish before your hatchery is killed. All it really does is ties up your resources. And he needs to continuously build queens. Lots of queens beat this really easy. So we have the natural going down. This is a bit early. I don't like how early this went down. He needs to commit more to aggression. Because look at all this larva that's sitting here. I don't like that. He's already committed himself to an all-in. He needs to make use of it and do real damage, because if he just does a half-assed attack like this right here, and then says, well, I'm gonna expand now, he's already committing himself to a loss. Like, he hasn't lost the game, but he's already committed himself to taking a loss in this battle, and now he's just behind. So Stratix is definitely ahead right now, because now both players have no units really on the map. Sorry. Both players don't really have any units to be aggressive with. There's no speed for our purple Zerg, and there's no real link. Well, now there's links again. But these things should have been out much sooner with the first push. Because now, like, he's basically made 2 armies, but he's sent them in 50% of his army now and 50% of his army later. Which means it's just easier for Stratix to defend. And if you look at the economy tab, we already have Stratix with a lead, but he already is mining from a gold, which means he's got a massive lead. He's had this natural up for like a full minute before the Caffey has had his, and like operational with mining. The Caffey really needs to transfer his drones, like as many as possible, down to the gold and fully saturate it. Mining from the main normal mineral line right now is not a good idea. He's falling further behind, but he is rushing a layer. Whereas Stratix on the other end is going for a Roach Warren. So, what I think needs to happen right now, the Caffey needs to definitely transfer drones to the gold. He's not doing it though. He's just making new drones to go to the gold. It's not optimal, but he's gonna rush a Spire. What I would love to see him do is I would love to see him make Spine Crawler. Don't even rely on Roach's. Don't make your own Roach Warren. He's already going for a fast layer. He needs to commit to that. He's already been decisive with what he wants to do with his tech. Make a fucking Spire and make Spine Crawlers. That's all he needs to do. It's the only way he's going to hold this. Whereas on the other side of things, Stratix, he's committed to going a Roach Warren. He knows he has a lead, He's probably, and he also is taking the gold. What I would love him to do is I would love for him to only saturate 2 mineral lines, and then start making roaches and lings, because he doesn't really see any follow-up aggression coming out of his opponent. He hasn't actually scouted what's going on, so he doesn't know that there's a fast layer. But if he just makes units, and then as soon as the gold, like to get map control, there's no way his gold can die. And if Stratix then would transfer 12 drones from his main to his third when the gold finishes, he'll be going off of double gold production, 2 fucking gold bases, with constant Zergling Roach production, with Baneling follow-up. It would be insanely hard for the Cafe to deal with this, and that's exactly what he's doing. That Stratix is doing, sorry. He's pushing out with roaches right now. He's being aggressive. I don't like that he's kind of letting this base get owned by Zerglings, but he's trying to hit a timing, which is fine. This is a little risky because he hasn't scouted. He doesn't know if his opponent is going for roaches as well, or mass Zergling. These roaches could be killed right now if there wasn't a rush spire. But luckily for Stratix, there is a rush spire, so these roaches won't die. They'll just do damage. Also, by the way, thank you, Maze, for the sub. And also, finally, I would love to, again, see the transfer of drones to the third. Both players not utilizing the golds as much as they could have. And also, keep in mind, too, the other thing. If there was, like, 3 Spinecrawlers on the high ground, and a bunch of Zerglings waiting for this Roach push, because there's no Zerglings and Banelings to support this Roach push, if Decafi, the red Zerg, would have surrounded the roaches on the ramp right here with Spinecrawlers as well, he actually could have killed all the roaches cost efficiently, and it would have really, you know, stunted the pressure coming out of Stratix. Overall, Stratix had a good game plan, but just walking up with your roaches and only your roaches and committing really hard without any lings nearby is it's a bit YOLO. You need to really, you know, keep in mind that if your opponent has units and, you know, they have shit ready for you, they could potentially kill your roaches. So to recap it, just to recap, both players, I'll talk about Decafi first. Decafi, the mistake he made was he was indecisive with his aggression. He went for 13-12, and he only made 1 round of really units to go, which was like, it was like 10 Zerglings and 2 Banelings. And then he expanded immediately. That was, that's not really how you're supposed to do it. The only way that's going to pay off for you is if you don't lose your units when you pressure, and you force an overreaction out of your opponent. But in doing that, if you're also committing yourself to speed, you've forced yourself in a position where you kind of have to do damage. You're not really going to be ahead if you don't do anything with that. So what happened was he didn't make enough units. The little units that he did make got absorbed by queens and enemy Zerglings. It didn't do a whole lot, and then he committed himself to having a later gold base than his opponent, and then he goes into then he went into a fast layer, which was a good transition in my opinion, but he didn't saturate the gold very quickly. What I would love to have seen was if he goes for a quick spire on this map, you pull your drones, saturate the gold, and that'll give you bonus income, which will allow you to not only continue making drones, but also make Spinecrawlers, which is what he needed to not die here. And that's basically it. If he had spines and then mutas, he could have actually absorbed the roaches, and then potentially like turn the game into a weird game where he has mutas. Maybe he denies the third and gets ahead from that point. Whatever. But now on the other side of things, we're talking about Stratix. He went for hatchery first, and then he was playing standard, and he was getting aggressively attacked by a 13-12. I like how he defended. He was mining gas for a little too long. As soon as you fucking see Zerglings crossing the map, and you know it's you know going to be 13-12, I would love to see 2 drones get ripped off the gas immediately, a Baneling Nest go down immediately as soon as your spawning pool's done, double Queen start immediately, and at least 1 Spinecrawler also immediately start. Because with a more precise 13-12 all in, you would actually die if you don't do that. If you're not fucking precise and you don't actually make enough to take it seriously, you could die. And then after he gets the spine, the queens, and the Baneling Nest going, then he makes Zerglings. And you should be watching across the map with an Overlord, like over here or something. And if he continues to flood Zerglings out of the map and he's still all-inning you, Then you continue making queens, you non-stop do queen production, maybe even throw down another spine crawler, and you just prepare yourself for non-stop waves of Zerglings. And then finally, after he realized there was no more aggression coming out, he took a third. I like the third idea, but one thing you should always do, if your game plan is going to be to pressure a Zerg with Zergling Roach, and you plan on having map control, there is no reason not to transfer your main mineral line to your third and utilize double gold bases, because all that's going to do is make you do two things. It's going to make you control the map even harder because you get more units out faster, but it's also going to ramp your economy up even more to where you can take a fourth base even faster, and you can just grow your fucking swarm faster and make it stronger quicker, basically. Gold is very powerful on this map, so utilizing gold is always what you want to do as fast as you can. Yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you guys like that. I hope you guys learned a lot. Hope you guys found that insightful.